We should now be live. Good evening, everyone. Let me just double check everything's working correctly. It appears to be on my end. Hello, folks in chat. Hello, Berenson Jow. Can you give folks a minute or two to pop in? Be aware that apparently YouTube is experiencing problems at the moment. So if there's any weird behavior, it's not me, it's YouTube. My day's been okay, Berenson. Edited a video for my other YouTube channel. And yeah, just been relaxing with Dane. Dane has had a rare day off today, so he's enjoying his time off. Late Friday always feels like inner peace, Joe. Well, then I'm glad you've come to share the inner peace with us today. Hello, Robert. So, yes, we're in a bit of a difficult situation. The Arizona build is basically done. And the challenge mode build was never meant to be like a serious park. It's only ever meant to be a sort of park we dip in and out of occasionally just to play around. So I'm thinking I'm going to need to start a new sandbox build. I must admit I've been a little sort of waylaid because I expected Jurassic World Evolution 3 to have already been announced. I wasn't expecting to have to continue with JWE2 content. So yeah, we need to start a new build. And I don't have very many ideas left. Well, again, the gambling park was really to tide us over while I was thinking of something else to do. So I'm thinking, let's start a new proper sandbox build somewhere. But I'm not sure, not sure where to do it, actually. I don't think there are very few maps left that I haven't built a park on. I'm pretty sure the only ones I have never tried to build a park on yet are Washington State, San Ambertus Peninsula, and maybe Santa Digius Island. You're fed up with JWE2, Joe. Oh, yeah, I know the feeling. Botanical houses, greenhouses, focus on glass buildings. We could try something like that. Or have a zone in the park like that, Robert. Certainly. Wild Wild West Park. Well, really, where we build the park is going to define what we do, really. Honestly, some of these maps are so... I feel like a lot of these maps are hamstrung by where they are. Maybe Smaug, but let's decide where we're going to do it first of all. I don't want to use a square map because the square map's just a pain in the ass to set up. So I would much rather just go in with a map we are using. San Ambertus has an interesting layout, I think. A bit like San Marie Bay's layout. California's a good choice. California is a good choice, although I've had trouble with California. I've never been able to finish a park on it. Because it always breaks before I can. So I think I might go with San Ambertus. Does this have a standard or pre-built build? We'll go with the standards. I'm just going to check all these because I did change some stuff for the challenge build. So normal or like? Combat frequency is normal. Herbivores able to initiate fights on. Contracts off. I heard Berenson, and I couldn't give more of less of a shit. We will still have a day-night cycle. We'll... Actually, no. For now, we'll stick to it just being daytime. We'll have calm weather, terrain normal, all biomes, Jurassic World. I think Jurassic Park looks... was it Jurassic Park or Jurassic World on this one? We'll go with that. You're currently working on a Jurassic World Japan map, Nicholas. Are you using Evo's mod for it? That's basically all I can say about the trailer. One of the good things about the show is that they give much more screen time to the dinosaurs that only had a few in the movies. I'm not necessarily sure that's a positive, Zhao. This is one of the problems I have with modern modern Jurassic, is that they seem to think, there we go, that's what I wanted. Jurassic World neutral makes the Mediterranean maps look so much nicer. Jurassic World, the Jurassic franchise as it stands now, they seem to think that like having more dinosaurs equals better. And I'm not necessarily convinced that that's the case. Like the original Jurassic Park. Hello, Dinosaur King. The original Jurassic Park, I think there's a statistic that the dinosaurs are only on screen for like 7 minutes of the runtime, something like that. And that was plenty of dinosaur for that film. Dominion had a bloated roster. In fact, if you calculate all the species, Dominion had 3 times the amount of species in it than any of the other movies. Like, I think it had something like 40 or 39 species in it, Dominion. Hello, Terraininator. Funny, your name is ironic considering I am in the process of setting up the terrain for this new build. Subber from the Mega Review. Ah! Well, I'm glad to meet someone else who has watched that. Honestly, I have been so surprised how popular that Mega Review has been. Like, the Jurassic World Evolution 1 Mega Review didn't get anywhere near as much views as this JWE2 one has. I know Evo advertised it as well on her channel, which I'm eternally grateful for, but yeah, it's been really, really successful. What did you think of some of the stuff I had to say, Terraminate? Terraminate. I have substantial trouble saying your name. Terraminator. There we go. I had to think about it for a while. I hope Rebirth doesn't throw in way too many animals in screen. I mean, I would say the Rebirth seems to be holding the reins a little bit tighter on the animals it's using. Interestingly enough, next week's video is about Rebirth. I'm looking at the animals that we have seen in the trailer. and giving my thoughts on them. That's next week's video. I mean, Rebirth has just failed to appeal, I think, mostly. The resident doctor in chat says, overall really agree. I only bought the DLC in game in the Black Friday deals in game. No longer updating, play modded safely. Well, the game isn't going to be updated now, it's dead. I mean, I think that much was very clear after the Park Managers collection. They won't be updating it any further. So we can all mod away freely now. In other words, you know, this is the period of time where Frontier relies on the hard work of modders to make the game playable for people on PC, because I seriously doubt console players are still playing this in any great quantity. I know this is a particularly boring part. Usually I would have done this before the stream, but because I wanted you guys to give me some ideas for what map to use, I haven't had the opportunity to do it, but at least this way you can see how I go around preparing my parks for builds. This is interesting. There's a sort of artificial height difference they put in here. I'm going to try and keep that. My gravest mistake was buying JWE1 on console. Yeah, I mean, I used to be a console gamer. In sort of the late 2010s, mid 20-teens, I was a console gamer, but that was because I was at university, I was moving house a lot, having a big PC was not financially viable, and it was also just, you know, extra stuff to move around. And when you're at university, you have to move around a lot, so it just wasn't viable. The minute I could have a gaming PC, that was it for console gaming. I've not had a console now since 2014. So, you know, 10 years or so now. I've been a solid PC gamer, and I don't understand why consoles are even still a thing anymore, honestly. I think computers offer so much more than a console could ever offer. Okay, so this map is interesting. We have... It kind of reminds me of old Isla Sorna from the first game in a way. You kind of have some distinct patches where you can build with a sort of raised central area. Just this time we can build in the raised central area. It's got some very interesting other features, like these land masses here and around. And obviously the background is also very pretty. Let's get the terrain flattening sorted out. So this area is... kind of lower than that side. Because this is way high. This is way higher. Look how high that is compared to the rest. Hmm. But they've given us some artificially heightened terrain here. So I think I kind of want to artificially raise this level anyway. So let's make this a little bit more of a difference in height. And let's follow... Where's the edge of this? Let's kind of follow the edge that they've already given us here. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. That kind of combines with this level a little bit. We can smooth that out. I could have simply set the map settings to flat, but I don't like doing that, and I vastly suggest people do not do that when they're building. I think looking at a map with its terrain sort of heights intact and looking at the, you know, natural environmental features that are there can actually help you with your builds. I think too many people rely on the flattened maps, and I think that is a reason why the big square maps don't work very well. You end up with this enormous lump of flat land, flat, featureless land that doesn't really guide you. Whereas here we're using the present heights and stuff to guide us. It's quicker, perhaps, but it doesn't quite help with the build either. Okay, so this landmass is... I wish these contours weren't white. I think it was such a mistake to make the contours on these areas. Can we change the color of the sand? There we go. Let's just make it all a darker color so we can actually see the contour lines. Very key. I think this plateau is calling out for the entrance to be up here. In fact, this little cutout in the rock there, I think that's calling out to be the helicopter entrance. This particular build, right. So if we continue leveling this out, so that's kind of to that. We'll have to heighten. This is a lot higher than it was, but oh well. Flatten out. Does it flatten out? No, it does not flatten out. Okay. And what if we go with this height then instead? Hello, randomness and such. What is the theme of this? Sorry, Doctor, I didn't see you ask that question. I don't have a particular theme for this park as of yet. Most of the time, I don't go in with a massively set on theme. I'll have some general idea of what I want to do. I want to have some hybrids in this particular build, because I haven't used any of the hybrids in any build. So I feel like some hybrids on this particular build, it's about time, you know. So I definitely think some hybrids in here, as well as some actual animal species. I want to flatten this all out to this height, which is the height of the nodule where we're going to put our... Holy moly. The back of this map is so much lower than the rest. What? I swear Frontier does this just to piss people like me and Evo off. They know we want terrain that's flat. An era park with a Jurassic Park section, a Jurassic World section. Potentially. Although I don't think that's a particularly realistic build. Like, what would be the in-world sort of reasoning for that? This is a really weird, heighted area. I don't know what to do with this. The difference in height is so huge. Yes, I know the park is closed. Okay, that's annoying. The entrance area is going to have to be a plateau of some description. Which is fine. We can do something with that. Eventually. Okay, so this definitely makes sense to be our entrance area. It'll overlook the rest of the park, and it's just a really natural place for it, I think. I don't have the hybrid DLC. Got it in Jurassic World Evolution 1, not buying it again for major changes. I mean, that was principally my criticism with it, was the presence of cut... Well, not cut... Well, it was cut content. Cut content that was being resold back to us. It's just... was just unbelievable. Unbelievably cheeky of them. I actually quite like how much space... There's quite a lot of space up here. So let's go for, like, one there. And... I feel like we can put another one quite far away from it. Although... kind of want to make sure that how can I make sure I don't I want them to be reasonably the same sort of distance away. Okay, so that's about level. Cross. There. Hopefully, if I put a piece of path out from these, is that reasonably straight? I think it is. Looks straightish to me. That gives us quite a lot of space in the middle here, which is nice. I want a decent sort of entrance area here. I'm thinking, that's not... It's a weird angle, isn't it? I don't know whether the angle should be more that way. We'll leave it like that. I'm happy with that. I remember them telling us not every species would return to the second game, and oddly enough, it was just the hybrids. It makes me think they had it planned for a DLC very long in advance. Well, this is the weird thing. So, you know, I said in that review, I said that I felt like they had done it deliberately, that the Malta and biasing content had been deliberately cut from the game and sold back to us. The thing is, they planned their DLC so far in advance that it's potentially that it literally really was a planned proper DLC. It's difficult to know. Again, Frontier doesn't seem to have the best long-term thinking at times. So, arguably, it could be that they just came up with the plan on a whim. Where's the middle point to that? That is not equal, is it? This is why I do quite a lot of my initial building work for parks off stream, because I and ah so much with what I'm doing. Of the, I mean, maybe we'll just put 3 down. No, I don't want 3. I want something nice. So maybe we'll do it this way. Kind of thought it would drag it out straighter than that, if I'm honest. Just want them nicely spaced. That's all. Okay, that's a little nicely. That's a little nicer in terms of spacing. I'm happier with that. Sorry, Joe, I got distracted there. Yeah, I mean, I think I was nice in giving them COVID as a possible reason for why the game came out in the quality in which that it did. But I think that's a very slippery slope. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but I've gotten really sick to death, or I got sick to death of COVID being used as an excuse by, like, every company for months about why they were so shit at the present time. Like, oh, I'm sorry you've had to wait 4 hours on the phone. It's COVID, or some other rubbish like that. And I'm like, well, COVID is an acceptable excuse to a point, but soon enough, it's no longer an excuse. And I feel like while COVID could and probably did negatively affect Frontier, I feel like we need to maybe stop with that excuse. I am really ticked off with this. Cannot get this looking the way that I want it to. Just want a circle. Thank you. Okay. Finally. Fives! You're alive and also donating. Thank you. That's very much appreciated. He's done the thing.
Fives!
How are you doing, dude? It's been a while. Why can I not get this looking the way I wanted it to? Yeah. Let's stick with that, I think. Emphasis on, I think. I did delete Discord a long time ago and almost die. What? Okay, dude, you need to come back to Discord and tell me what the hell happened. You can't just say some shit like that and like not explain.
He did just say it was in the chicken nuggets ice cream.
Well, Fives, it is good to hear from you. The channel... I am not going to refer to Fives as the channel's sugar daddy, Dane.
I mean, you just did.
Yeah.
The benefit of me being over here is they can't hear what I say.
Yes, they can.
I'm actually because they can't.
You call me down. Down, boy. Anyway. So those will be planted areas, and then we'll have a... Okay, Fencing wise, I think for this hedgerow. No, that's not. No, that's not. I hate trying to do circles with fencing. Remind me why I play this game again? Like, I was tempted to play Wolfenstein on stream instead. I could have been shooting people with particular political ideologies instead of dealing with this. Ah. There we go.
Did you or did you not just remember what platform you were on?
I did remember what platform we were on and that I'm not allowed to use the name of that particular political ideology.
Which is why we can't actually play Wolfenstein.
Oh, we can. I checked online that you can do it. You just have to make sure that you include appropriate warnings and make it an 18s only stream.
Fair enough.
Atifa, why destroy when you could build? Because sometimes you are just in the mood to kill a bunch of people with a particular type of political ideology that was popular between 1939 and 1945.
My point don't understand.
Also, what's going on in chat?
Should I just say fives?
Are you flirting with fives again?
Me flirt with someone? Well done.
That won't be your first 18 plus stream. Hey, Fletcher. Cheeky. Also, since when did I give you the permission to call me Fletchy? It has taken a hell of a turn, Brenton, but it always does when Fives is around. But that's good, because he brings some much-needed levity and fun to the streams. Okay. I see we going in an interesting direction. That's one way of putting it. As with all of my builds, we may or may not get to dinosaurs today. I do like to have a really sort of nice entrance. I think a good entrance is underappreciated. Sure, Fives will twist that in the way. But a nice park entrance can help sort of, just focus the rest of the build. So. No snapping here. That's the wrong button. Lovely. Okay, so there'll be planted areas inside those log-lined places. You've always appreciated my See, Fives, I knew you would twist it to something like that. I know, I know.
Even time lapses will happen when you do
It's because he knows he can get away with that sort of thing here.
that. He plays our business. You get away with a lot.
I think we need fencing or something behind here. I'm thinking maybe the proper solid stuff. Go out like that, and then do the same here. Can we get it more or less in the middle? That's not quite in the middle. Can we try that again? That's better. I wish this helicopter would bugger off back to the arrival point. Yeah, Kai's Dino Man makes a good point. Kai is basically working at the moment on getting all of his sort of half-complete mods and half-working mods back to proper working order. I would assume at some point that means that Open Lagoons and Open Aviaries is going to get an update. Kai doing the god's work, as it were, keeping this game going. Today's the day crab fries. I have no idea what you are referring to, Joshua. Oh, SpongeBob, okay. Whatevs. Was I like the only person that did not ever watch SpongeBob SquarePants?
Fives.
How does he know you have Okay, Fives, that's disgusting. Why is this control 1? No. Control 3? Control 3 is the button you need. Okay, so there's our... that is literally our entrance there. So the park won't begin until, like, here. What shall we do for, like, the entrance? This is, like, the waiting area for the entrance. So this, which needs to be double strength. You know, I suppose I could just do it the old-fashioned way. So what shall we do for our actual entrance? Because obviously with the Arizona build, I did that archway, but it was basically broken. I think obviously we do want to have a gate here. Where did Kyodenic put his gates? They're in the paths option, aren't they? Yes. Guess gate. Classic gate. Gate. Jurassic Park gate. Jurassic World gate. I want to use the Jurassic Park gate for this build. An idea is coalescing in the old brain. It's a horrible image, isn't it? Of like doing a sort of Jurassic Park has expanded to build a park in the Mediterranean. Sort of build, or something similar. That is not acceptable. That is better. Oh, thank you, Joshua. I think I was just never into the show as a kid. Back in my day, well, I mean, when I was really young, it was Thomas the Tank Engine. And then when I got a little bit older, it was Cartoon Network. So, The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Dexter's Lab, Powerpuff Girls, that sort of thing. Futurama, The Simpsons. I still think Futurama was the better show. I think The Simpsons wasn't as good. And I will die on that hill. I think we probably need some actual proper secure external fencing here. So that is bending the wrong way. Oh, that's a... Ha ha! That's bullshit. Is there not a way to rotate that fence? Like, I'm sure there's a control that allows you to rotate the direction of the angle on the fence. I just can't remember what it was. Snoo. Classic episode. Classic episode. Death by Snoo. No one knows what that's referring to. You need to get out more. Which I know is ironic coming from a guy that's currently building a dinosaur theme park, but didn't like that. That's... I'm happier with that. Okay, so that's our actual park perimeter right there. The rest of this is Oops. So this is kind of the protection, as it were, the protecting fence. We'll definitely put, there would definitely be another layer of fencing before that. I watched some of the Nickelodeon shows on UTV when I was younger, like SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, and Rugrats. I was never much of a Rugrats. I mean, Rugrats was on TV when I was growing up. Never much of a fan of that show. I thought all the kids looked really weird. Right, so now to determine how to actually, like, do the rest of this bit. Now we have an entrance. I think a route down on the left and the right makes sense. But I think what we'll do is we'll actually just plateau it properly. We'll make sure there is space for ramps up and down. There we go. I assume you mean Rebirth Spinosaurus. Rebirth Spino is probably the one I'm most looking forward to having in the next Jurassic World Evolution game. I just think I think that Spino is going to be really awesome. I just want to do something quickly. This will make sense in a moment. It would have made sense if it would let me. There we go. Oh, you bitch! Excuse my French. Why did it delete the paths as well? It's gonna do that again. So weird. There we go. I just wanted to get the bloody spacing. That was all. Why is Jurassic World Evolution 2's delete tool such a pain in the ass to work with? I'm pretty sure Evo commented about it when the game first came out as well, that it was a really bad... Oh look, we've got the Vault-Tec symbol. Live a better life underground with Vault-Tec. Okay, so so we're going to have two routes, one going left and right to get us up and down off that plateau. Yeah, I like the Titanosaur as well, and everything. I do have a quite controversial Robert. So it's Control and 1, Control and 2, and Control and 3. Control and 1 prevents. Control and 2 prevents the snapping. Control and 3 prevents the angle snapping to weird angles. I don't know what Control and 1 does. I think Control and 1 turns off something else. So I think obviously it makes sense that we would have an exhibit up that we could look down on from up here. I'm not sure how we want that to Because I don't think it's quite the right place to have like an actual structure. Because this is literally the main road in and out, and you don't want people sort of clogging up this route. So I think it makes more sense it would just be like an overlook. I suppose what we can do is give it a bit more of a... Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'm not prone to violence. But there are certain things I would do to the person who invented the path tool in this game. I mean, I'm not prone to violence at all, but you should have heard some of the things that came out of my mouth when I marked a particular student's exam, and their answer about African American slavery was that it was all the Africans' faults. Because the Africans were gullible. Honest to God. Things that came out of my mouth that day were not charitable to that particular student. I think we'll go with log path, logging fence. Actually, no, we'll use a proper fence. Like, we'll use an actual proper hardcore fence. Maybe with a glass window in the middle? Shall we give Rob Earth's wonderful glass windows mod another going? Oh, actually, I can switch. So, so the other day I have brought a new mouse where you can set the roller in the middle, the mouse wheel, to just constantly spinning. So you can turn the ratchet off. And it's going to make going through this menu so easy, because all I have to do is give it a light spin and it goes all the way down. I don't have to ratchet it all the time. Wondering how I want to do this. I actually don't think those windows are the right thing to use here. I think it will be better to use these guys at this particular moment. I actually think the viewing frame will give us a better... Where's the middle? Where's the middle? The middle is there. The viewing frame is just a bit shorter than any of the window sections, so I think they're just a little bit easier to do like a curved bit with, especially like a tight curve, which this is. So many innuendos that are possible. Yeah, that is what I wanted to go for. Let's just shift that one in a little bit more. Yes. The church bell on this map is a nice little bit of ambience. You know, there is something I actually hope they do for Jurassic World Evolution 3. I don't think they would ever do it because I think it would be too difficult for them to do. But I would love to have a map where the zone you build is like in the middle of a city and you're sort of restricted on the area by the fact that like you've got buildings either side of you. Like is it New York City Zoo is kind of in the middle of that from what I remember about Madagascar anyway. Um I'd actually quite like to build on a map that's like that. Yeah, and then that kind of divides off this area here, and we can have it as a little overlook. Put some seating down here. I think that'll work. How much closer to that can we get this plateau? Ooh, if we can actually get it that close. This is where having the contour lines on really comes in handy. Because if you're careful with your mouse movements, you can just get everything really well lined up. That's as close as I dare. Yeah, I feel like this is calling out for... Okay, let's... Where are the drawing tools? Let's switch to rock texture. I want a glass roof for the half circle. Really? Do you know how many... I don't think it's possible to do that. We haven't got anything for it to sit on. We would have to put some artificial things in. He wants a glass roof. Right, he wants a glass roof. We'll try and make a glass roof. Oh no, Rob, you asked for a glass roof, and a glass roof you will have. Let it never be said that I don't take suggestions into account. Although I'm not sure that's going to work. Okay. Did that just remove a part of... Okay, so what about if we use a couple of these? And let's tilt it. And then raise it. I mean, it's a little bit annoying because it sticks out so much at the sides, but I kind of dig how that looks, even with the sticking out at the sides. Maybe if we grab this one, change the angle. I think we can make the angle less steep. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. I'll send you hot screenshots later. The new items are bigger than expected. Oh, really? As much as I like the idea of putting a glass roof here, I don't think it really works very well. It's the curve that's the problem. If it was straight, it would be fine. But the fact that it is curvaceous is the problem. And these are too long to use. I suppose I could build one. This is what happens when someone challenges me to do something and I set my mind to it. This is literally the first bloody enclosure in the park, and I'm already trying to be excessive in its design. Like, maybe... Okay. And then if we got this one... You know what's also really annoying? For some reason, I have the theme tune from Fallout 4's Nuka-Cola DLC stuck in my head. I don't know why. Okay, I think I need to move this back slightly. I'm going to have to move it backwards in order to try to get it. I suppose it doesn't help that the actual... I've just noticed that the actual positioning of the windows is not perfect. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, that wasn't nowhere near in line, was it? It's so difficult with these glass pieces to see where they line up. Jurassic World Evolution to use camera. So even two of those doesn't quite cross the gap. Rob, I think this semicircular area, I don't think we're going to do well. We will do some sort of glass covered thing, but not up here. I think we'll do it where we can actually do a straight line. But what I was going to do is lay out, before like it gets to the end of the stream and we don't even have any dinosaurs in it, kind of lay out where I want the first kind of enclosure. I'm thinking we'll make it a fairly large one. And I'm thinking it won't go all the way up to here. I'm thinking something like that. It can be very difficult to implement a structural idea, although I have just thought of how I could implement that structural idea. We could make this really large. Okay. Let's give this particular enclosure a huge amount of space. Like thusly. Here's my thinking. We split this enclosure kind of down the middle. There. And we have a glass-covered walkway that kind of leads to a central bit in the middle. Wouldn't work if we split it in half, though. So it would have to be one enclosure. And it basically, we have a walkway that leads to a center bit in the middle. And we'll make it this big so that we can have quite a few animals in here. And make up for the space that it's going to take up. What I would like to do, though, if we are going to do that, is it's going to have to be on a snap angle. So, this is a snap angle. I think that would be a better snap angle. How far in do we want it to go? I think that far in is fine. How wide do I want this to be? How wide is a single... Okay, one path width, no. So let's make it two path widths. Oh, that would be just a bit short for one of those. We'd also need to use a hell of a lot of them. Like, we'd need to use so many. We'd also probably have to angle these side pieces in slightly. Probably by... No, wrong button. Probably by... What the devil? Okay, angling them is not possible. Have like Rob, can I just say how much my head is hurting trying to get this? Why have you done this to me? Oh, for God's sake, this is not correct angle. Yeah, okay. Like, I need the angling of that to be a lot more perfect than what I can do quickly in this stream right now. Let's put the, let's at least put the invisible fencing in. TF imagined, yes, this is the San Ambertus Peninsula map. If the colors look a little strange, it's because I'm running it with a different color grading. Because I just don't like the Mediterranean one. This is just a very rough outline of where I want the fencing to be. Obviously, we'll put in like proper fencing when I figured out what I want to do with that bloody glass tunnel idea that Rob has given me that I'm now determined to do, even though it's going to be a pain in the ass. Thank you, Rob. So that's enclosure 1, will be that huge area there. I'm thinking one of these areas would probably be just for lagoons and one just for aviaries. I would quite like to have lagoons down here. I think this double level area would work quite well for lagoons. It's not flat. Something tells me I'm going to have a lot of work to do off stream on this particular park before Sunday, just to get things a little more going. I'm so uninspired for the Mongolian park to build on it again. You know, this is oddly enough something I'm experiencing with this game now that I've done that retrospective review. I am so uninspired to do anything more with the game. It's really difficult to keep sort of the desire to build on this game, having gone through it all the way I have. Yeah, so we'll have lagoons down here, I think. Makes good lagoon spot. Maybe we can have aviaries on the cliffside. That makes sense to me. Like, have lagoons down here, aviaries up here. And then we can do some more basic sort of dinosaur stuff elsewhere. Maybe have a tour or something in this area, since it's quite big. This map isn't actually as large as I thought it was. This is where we discover it's not leveled. Oh, it is! There's a first. Alright, let's actually get at least something going here. I wish the waterfalls had sound. It's like the only sort of problem with the waterfall mod is that there's no sound to any of the waterfalls. So they do kind of trigger the uncanny valley feeling because they're just effects and you get no water sounds with them. I've just had an idea. For a different enclosure. we'll stick to the idea for this enclosure that we already had. Hey, we have church bell sounds. What more could we want? Exactly. Obviously this particular enclosure will be probably herbivores. I never put carnivores in like the first enclosure. What color do I want? We have one in between that bright white and that dull brown, do we? So I'm thinking, obviously we want a sauropod in here of some description. And given that it's a relatively large enclosure, I think it would be perfectly fine to have any number of any type of large sauropod in here. Archaeornithomimus is such an odd addition to Jurassic World Evolution, mainly because it was a name drop by Claire in Jurassic World, but has no reason to be featured in the game. I mean, I think it makes more sense to have been Ornithomimus. Ornithomimus also is one of the few dinosaurs we know for a fact was feathered. The remains of the dinosaur have feathers. We know that it was feathered. So it strikes me as strange we wouldn't have our Ornithomimus. Right, which way round is the correct way for these? I'm gonna have to bear with me one moment. I need to test something. Okay, so if it's that angle, this is... So this angle here is... And it's like that. And I'm assuming that angle here is also... Okay. So this is a piece of advice for folks if they do want to build complicated stuff with the pieces. You have to make sure if you want to get the angling to work correctly, you have got to make sure you have it set up correctly from the start. So this has to be this way around for it to work. We're going to go 5 in. And we're going to make it... Each of these we're going to have angled inward by 1 notch. Just because it would be important for strength to have them angled slightly against the angle of attack for any possible creature. That's going to need a heck of a lot of glass pieces. Jesus. Okay, I just want to... What time is it? 1:30. I just want to set up the perimeter of this tunnel. Once we have the perimeter set up, I can put the invisible fencing around. And then we can actually get dinosaurs in here. I don't know quite how I will end this tunnel. Yes, we do want to include hybrids in this park. because, like I say, I have not actually used hybrids in any build yet. Apart from Ankylodocus has actually already been used in a build, but I suppose it would work as a the sauropod here. But I'm actually thinking something a bit more traditional for our first enclosure. Oh, that one has angled too much. Rob, why did you challenge me to this? I've spent so much more time messing around with this enclosure than I thought I would. Ah. Alright. There is our tunnel in. And if I've done the angling properly, I haven't quite done the angling properly. It's almost... Look at that. It is very nearly almost the perfect length. Width even. Not bad. I don't know how I'm going to end this. Like, it would probably have to be like a square of some description. And it's going to need a lot of these panes in. That's going to be fun. He says. Very sarcastically. I know, Rob, but like, I want to get the dinosaurs in here. Leave myself a bit of a gap so I can do a proper ending section. Okay. I could maybe do something with the amphibian parts. That would give it a bit of a relatively easy, like, end cap, actually. Like... Hang on a minute. Like, if we raised this to... there. Okay. Hang on. What, and then use like these section? Oh, they're just a bit too short. Glass. Where's the viewing? That's also just a bit too short. Those are a tad too tall. How much lower would that have to be? How low would that actually have to go? Almost stupidly low. If we just had fencing. Okay. I know it's taking time, but a part of me is like, I don't care, this is my build. Like, I want it to look correct. Hyodenic, can you save us? Oh, those are way too short. See, these walls are just ugly. Hmm. Hold on a minute. Where would that? Where should that go to? Like that. No, it's not gonna work. Maybe the long concrete wall item and raised glass pane? Oh, I get what you mean. Yeah, but that doesn't really work with the shape of this. With this. The shape of that is fine for those glass panes, but it's not. Doesn't really work for. It's this. This is just a really annoying height. I love the idea. I just want it to look right. And unfortunately, that is too short. And if I lower that roof down, it comes out looking really stupid. Like, I can use this, but I would have to find something to account for the gap. And that's just way too tall, unless... Hang on. Where can we get that? If you put the invisible... Like, if we put the invisible wall actual thing along the bottom... That doesn't look too bad. You could also place a glass twice... Well, true, I could place the glass twice, but then that's twice the pieces. You forget, Rob, I choose to build efficiently. I don't want to use tons of pieces. If I can't do it with one, or, you know, I want to be able to do it in an efficient way rather than an inefficient way. This would work-ish, I think. Like, problem is with its length. It doesn't quite work out nicely. That would have to be there. That bit would then have to be there. This bit would then have to be here. Let's line all these up. That bit would be there. That bit would then be there. This bit would then be here. We can deal with that gap. We can deal with that gap. Okay, this actually works not too bad, actually. So let's just shrink these down to the heights we want them. I'm gonna say there. I actually quite like that. I'm actually not against that. I think that works. Sometimes cooking just takes a while. Gotta. I think that's roughly the same height. Doesn't matter too much, there are tolerances. Needs to be a little further over. I think that's actually alright. Oh, it's only taken 2 hours. I give Fletcher toys to play with and he inspires me. Well, I'm glad I've done that at least. Okay. Before we put dinosaurs in, we need to put in an invisible fence line that runs underneath this glass, because that gives us kind of a natural bottom, like that. So it doesn't look like the glass is just kind of sat there in nothing. It actually looks like the glass is positioned within a that. Those big chunky bits actually look like they're holding the glass, so that actually works quite nicely. Oh, that was a bit of a faff, wasn't it? But it's I actually think it looks good. That's just a temporary thing. Right. Shall we actually, before this stream ends, shall we actually put in some of them? Let's just dump some forest down for them. So at least I have something to eat. We'll save this. Save as... I need a name for this. Jurassic Park Crete. Right, let's go find some sauropods, shall we? I haven't actually had any of my drink. Yeah, Berenson, I do apologize. Oh, I've just seen your... Good grief, Rob. So many pieces. That's so many pieces to do something quite small. Right, let's get Notepad file up. Okay, so, sauropods. Ankylodocus is obviously one. Alamosaurus. Pato. We have Argentino, obviously. Australotitan. Classic Bracky. Dippy. Dreadnoughtus I don't want to use. Mementi we used in the last build. Supersaurus, which is just basically Dread. We could honestly just go for Anki. And just have it as Mysaurus or something. In that case then, let's have a... just altering the position of the sun so we can actually see the colours. Shall we go for male and females in this particular park or no? Oh yeah, that's right, I do have some other variations. I have the much more spiky variation. Or I have the Stegosaurus. Shit. I low-key kind of like the Stegosaurus. Well, we'll go for the defaults, I think. Okay, so we will do male and female. So, male and female then, Gambia River Basin and Amazon Rainforest. Oddly enough, the Lux pattern does kind of work with the Amazon Rainforest coloration. So is Papurana though. I think that's alright actually. Ankylodocus, Amazon Rainforest, and Calparana for male. And then our females are Gambia, just do Gambia with the Rana. I think that works. And I think, given how large that enclosure is, I think there's easily space for another. So I'm going to put Alamo in, because Alamo is my favourite of the tall boys. I like that Limpopo River colour. Limpopo River and Lithobates for the male, and our female make the females just Salar del Hoasco for the female. Right. Ooh. Rebirth Titanosaurus definitely gives me Alamosaurus vibes. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the. Oh, I need somewhere to dinosaur manufacturing. Just stick it over here for now. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Titanosaurus. I really like it. Yes, the sales are a bit anachronistic, but we actually don't have that much material from Titanosaurus. It's a dubious species as it is, so I don't really think it's unfair to give it some unique additions. Right, Amazon rainforest and Falcarana. We'll do one male. Gambia River Basin and Rana. 2 female.
En route to pick up the asset. Asset collection request received.
Alamo is where? Limpopo River. Lithobates. Again, we'll do 1 male. Salar del Huasco.
Transportation underway.
Female.
Heading to collect the asset. Asset in transit. Asset to be collected.
Hey.
Delivery complete.
And we don't have much fossils of D-Rex. Oh, wait. Yes, my opinions on
Complete.
the D-Rex will be made very clear in the video next week.
Assets in the air.
How have we got our females are here before the males?
Asset transported.
Oh no, there's our male. I think that colour pattern works.
Delivery has been completed.
It has just occurred to me now that we're going to need some more dinosaurs in this enclosure. We're going to need a proper pack of something hadrosaurs to live alongside these guys. Well, I don't think we did too bad of a start. I will endeavour tomorrow while Evo is streaming. I will endeavour to do a little bit of homework, so on Sunday we can just get a little bit more gone and built. But yeah, I like the start that we have at the moment. I think this could look good. But yes, I shall do some homework for Sunday and make sure it's ready to go. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been quite lively today. Thank you, obviously, Fives, for the donation. It is very much appreciated. 20 Myosaura, definitely not, Rob. Definitely not. I will see you guys on Sunday for the next stream. Don't forget to like the stream if you haven't done so already. It really does help. And yeah, wherever you are, enjoy the rest of your days. Stay safe, and good night.